Heyo everybody, this is IcicleFerret, and we're gonna have a little relaxing episode today. We're gonna take a look at some of the hidden animations that are found around Monster Hunter. So Monster Hunter is a highly polished game. There's a lot of people that worked on animating and creating assets for this game, and I just want to take a minute to appreciate all of their hard work. So we're gonna start in Seliana, kind of an odd place to start, but I figure I'd better start somewhere rather than agonize over the best place to start. So starting anywhere was better than starting nowhere. So here we are, we're in the canteen of Seliana, and we're going to check out this little spice cat here to our right. So we're just going to take a second here to look at his loop. So his animation loop is... It is pretty simple. So he grabs spice from each of the little bags, he puts them into the bowl, grinds them up with that pestle there, and then we get to see him put it into a bag for later use. Now if you watch him long enough, he actually does have a little hidden animation that triggers. Wait. An explosion of spices! Oh. And, oh, he looks so sad. His bowl's empty. Oh, the poor little baby. He's gotta start over. Alright, so that's the entirety of the Spice Cat's loop. Now we're gonna take a look at this little Baker Cat over here. So he's gonna use his little mug. He's gonna grab some flour. He's gonna grab some yeast. Sprinkle it in there. Give it all a good mix now for the water. He's gonna add that in there. Set his little cup down and start kneading. So we get a cool little texture effect on the top of the water there. And then that disappears and we get this dough effect rising. Puts it to the side. And starts working at it. Gives it a little fold. Gives it a flip. Puts it back in the bowl. And then he picks it up, carries it off. He's gonna let that set over there, let that rise a little bit. And then he comes back with an empty bowl and starts his little loop over again. Just a cute little animation that somebody had to spend a lot of time and a lot of hard work getting to look just right. And now we're going to check out the Grand Meowster Chef for a little bit since she's right here. So you can see she's checking the steam that's coming out of her little saute pots here, or simmer pots. Adding a little bit of spice, it looks like, to that center one. Giving it a good mix. She's just gonna chill here for a bit in what looks like an idle animation for her. Oh, it smells good. Oh, now she's gonna give it a taste. Not quite right, adds a little bit of spice to it. And a nice little stir. This time it looks just right. She puts the lid on to let it simmer some more. Checks the temperature. We're back to her little idle animation. Now she's gonna check on the big pot. Smelling it, making sure it smells good. And now it gets the all-important taste test. And it looks like that passes muster as well, so she goes ahead and she puts her little bowl away. Just kind of checks things out around the kitchen with her idle animation there a little bit. And with a turn of her head and a nod, she heads back down the stairs. And she's checking on all of her sauces again. Return to her little idle stance. And we're back at the start of her loop here. She's making sure that the steam and the pots all look good to her. That gets the approving nod. Now she's going to go back to checking that center pot. And here we have the soup making cat. So this animation is actually recycled from the canteen over in Astera. So you have this exact same thing, we just have a different cat here with a different cute little outfit. So you see him there, he's mixing this big giant soup pot, and he's mixing it real good, and he's getting distracted by a butterfly. He's like, I'm not gonna let you trick me. I'm not gonna let you trick me this time. But the butterfly, it proves too alluring. And he goes for it and he nearly dies. Oh, and he has to catch his breath. His whole life flashed before his eyes. And it's back to work. And we just kind of have the start of his animation loop over again. We can't really get the best look over here at this. I call him a baker cat, but we called the other cat the baker cat. So this, I guess, would be the oven tender. Another baker. You see here, this is kind of, I think, towards the end of his loop that we're starting watching him here. But he's taken these finished buns out of the oven, setting them on a little cooling rack to cool. Making sure he got everything in the oven there. Just, one last look. Doesn't hurt. Before he puts in these rested loaves, dough balls, whatever they're called. I'm not a baker. Sets those in there to start baking. Takes the empty tray into the back. Disappears from sight for a second before coming all the way back, and he's got 2 new fresh loaves. There. Now that these 2 bread loaves have cooled off, he's going to check them and make sure they're good. Which looks like they are. Puts them in the bag there. And now he's going to stare at these, and if you can see from the distance, the texture on them just changes at that moment. Going from that nice white doughy texture to the now more darker brown finished bread texture. Gives him a quick once-over, looks at him, sets him off to cool. Double checks the oven, makes sure that the fires are good, that he didn't miss anything. And he puts the next batch in to bake. And away he goes again. Now there's one more animation loop here in this Seliana kitchen that I wanted to check out. This one is a little bit of a longer loop, so we just gotta wait here for one of our friends from the Gathering Hub to come down, and there's one right now. Cute little bob-tailed kitty. Scurries off. Going to grab some nice tasty foods for the hunters upstairs. And oh, what's this? This is a different one. This is a different kitty cat. So I guess there was one that came down before him, before we even started watching. Now he's finishing his loop, waiting for his ride to come, and he's off. But I just want to wait for our little bobtailed friend to come back. Because he was in a white tunic, not a pink coat. Now the carry animation that the Palicos have, that's a shared animation. So anytime a Palico is carrying something over their head, they just take that animation out of a loop made for general Palicos. So they don't have to hand animate these. This cuts down on the amount of work that they have to do. And then they just have to worry about timing and spacing and, you know, little tiny details like that. So here's our bobtailed friend. He's back, waiting for his ride. There it is. And he's gone. Another thing I wanted to point out was while I was waiting to see this loop again from trying to get it from a different angle, I noticed that they actually animated the expression on the Palico's face while he's waiting for his elevator ride. So this isn't something that the player is likely to see at all. You have to have your camera at just the right angle. But they still gave him an expression. Now I doubt it's a unique expression. It might just be a generic anticipation expression that you see on the Palicos. But they still went through all the trouble of animating his face while he's waiting, while he's facing away from the player and waiting for a ride. I mean, that's just a level of detail that not a whole lot of game makers would bother to put into their games. And it just makes these little sequences all that more precious and special, and helps gives Monster Hunter this feeling that it's really a community. Alright, thanks everybody for watching this. I hope you had as much fun checking out some of the animations as I did. In the background there, we've got Alistair doing some Tai Chi, looking totally adorable. I can't believe I trust my life to this cat. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Check the comments below for links to things like the Discord and the Patreon and whatnot and all sorts of other cool stuff. Stay frosty, my friends, and I will see you next time.